time for another fun Fat Tuesday inspired recipe. Blake is here, runs a number of different restaurants up in the Door County area, and also helps with Fat Louie's Olive Oil Company. So great to see you.
Great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
I got a little secret for you. I'm actually from New Orleans, so this is a great treat to be here today.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Oh, what a cool, fun city.
It is.
If you are into food, that is one city you need to go to, and just even for a weekend and eat your way around the city. You know,
there's so much going on in the city. I mean, the historic value that's there during the day, and then the nightlife, of course, everybody's familiar with. So.
It is just a neat place. So we're making gumbo, which I love making gumbo, but it is kind of an all-day deal.
It is. It's a process.
It's not a quick thing. So on a Sunday, it was a great day to make a big batch of gumbo. And the roux is really the key to starting out, to make a good gumbo. So we're not using butter, we're using oil in your roux.
We're using olive oil, a little healthier way of, leaving out some of the fat, the bad fat, and adding some good fat to it. And
we're using your the Fat Louie's garlic olive oil.
The garlic olive oil for this recipe.
I'm addicted to that. It's so good. And you brought along a few of the other different ones. What else did you bring along for us?
I brought along some apple cinnamon. There's so many different flavors nowadays. There's a chipotle oil, there's a grapeseed oil, the fruits, the vegetables, anything you want to infuse your olive oil with. We're pretty much doing it now. I think we've got like 30 different flavors at least.
It's fantastic.
And it's ever growing. So
the Tuscan and the garlic are my favorite, just drizzled on bread or salad dressings. That apple cinnamon though would be fantastic in like an apple vinaigrette or in desserts.
I actually use this on the king cake we'll be doing later today.
Ooh, I can hardly wait. So we started out with the roux, garlic, Fat Louie's olive oil, and then flour.
And then
correct?
Flour, equal parts flour. And then what I did is I started early this morning and we let it go for about 25 minutes just to get that brown color, peanut color.
And you can't really walk away from it, right?
No, you can't. It's going to burn quick on you. So you got to kind of stir it and sip on a cup of coffee and then go right back to it.
Are you looking for, is this kind of the color?
That's kind of the color we're looking for, kind of that peanut butter / chocolate look to it.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do, and you already stole my phrase this morning with the jambalaya, was the Trinity. So
Sorry about that.
That's all right. We'll go ahead and add the peppers.
Okay.
The onions. And the celery. And we're going to let this cook for about 2 to 4 minutes just to kind of soften it up.
And it really is true. Just about every dish down in New Orleans, it's starts with the Trinity, as they call it there.
It sure does.
So at home, you'll want this to get nice and kind of the veggies to get soft and hang out in this.
Let me tell you what, I'm going to add just a little stock just to kind of moisten that up a little bit.
You bet. You bet.
And again, as you did with the jambalaya, I pre-cooked the chicken and sausage to get some of the fat renderings in that roux.
Okay, so
and then we set it aside. So this is already cooked. So we're gonna let that go for a couple more minutes and then add that.
Andouille sausage.
Andouille sausage.
Chicken breast.
And chicken breast. That's
chicken
correct.
breast. Okay, so we already cooked that in oil, basically.
We cooked that in oil. It's actually what the roux was made out of.
Oh, okay.
We did that first and kept the flavor in there, and then added the flour to it to get that roux, and then we let it cook down.
Yum. For people who are at home wondering where they can get their hands on these Fat Louie oils and vinegars, where do you get them?
The Door Peninsula Winery in Carlsville.
Okay.
Door County is great for these places. We also have Fat Louie's, which is in Egg Harbor.
Okay.
And then the Barrel Room in Fish Creek, next to Cooper's Corner.
Okay,
So kind of anywhere in Door County, you'll be able to find it on the shelf.
And it's a nice time of year to take a drive a little quieter up there. You can get into the restaurants, no waiting,
Right, there's no waiting. You can see things, and I mean the weather and the scenery is beautiful. Especially with all the snow right now.
Ann and I were up in December we were over in Bailey's Harbor in that area, and it was breathtaking. The snow on the trees and the lake. It's just a really nice, different, quiet time of year.
Very picturesque.
So yeah, you can do some cross-country skiing up there, and it's nice because it's go up for lunch and come home or spend the weekend. Okay, so at home, let this cook and let the veggies soften. 10 minutes or more.
And then what we're going to do is add the meat back in.
Okay, this is the sausage and the chicken.
And then we're going to go ahead and throw our seasonings in there to go with it. So I've got about a tablespoon and a half of the Cajun seasoning.
Okay.
Our own special blend. A little salt and pepper. 2 bay leaves. Cayenne.
Really
and then something right out of the South, filet powder. It was actually a tough find up here, but it's very common down south. They use it in a lot of the gumbos and such.
I'm assuming you could find it online.
You can definitely find it online, and I did find it at Econo Foods.
Oh, okay.
So there is a place to find it.
Okay.
So we're going to stir this up.
Yep.
And just get that meat back in there. And
are any of the restaurants doing some Cajun-inspired dishes?
Actually, Cooper's Corners. We have a jambalaya on there, and actually, I'm thinking about doing the gumbo after you kind of re-inspired me with the South.
Yum, good.
So maybe putting the gumbo on there.
It's great for this time of year. It really is.
Sure
It's kind of rib-sticking food. Okay.
All right, and then I'm going to add the chicken stock.
Okay. So much more flavor than using water, so that's really important.
Correct. And you can use any sort of stock. I mean, we have meat in there, but if you were to do a vegetable gumbo, that's fine. You can use a vegetable stock. Whatever you've got in your pantry sort of thing.
Okay.
And then we're going to let that go, and it's probably going to take you about 45 minutes of simmering. And then it'll get to your desired consistency. Like you spoke of, you know, gumbo's kind of a soup, and it's served over the rice. There's also another name for this, is etouffee. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yes.
But they're very alike, and the common difference is that gumbo is served as a soup, and etouffee is served over like an entree as the rice dish.
Oh, okay.
Basically the only difference.
Oh, and sometimes the etouffee has crawfish in it.
Yes,
too.
that's
very
the most
famous.
popular, is
Yeah,
the crawfish
yeah,
etouffee.
yeah. All right, so we're waiting on our basically our jambalaya to do its thing, and our gumbo to do its thing, and coming up a little later on, we're making homemade king cake. I never thought about
Homemade king
that.
cake, we sure are.
Very fun.